I beat Calamity Infernum, the full movie. Why are we calling it that? Look, I know you saw someone else's title and thought, well, it worked for them, but how can you honestly look at all these videos that present themselves the exact same way and feel no shame? I'm joking, by the way. I like these creators. I've probably watched like half of these. And I'm probably going to also name my video after someone else's because that is the landscape we live in and are going to die in. Anyway, welcome to Infernum. I'm Ashton, and I'm going to be the one playing the game. You're probably already aware, but Infernum is a mod that heavily overhauls Calamity's bosses to make them much more difficult and all that stuff. One could say in some cases unfairly so, but you better not say that, or else every insecure person in the Infernum community will hunt you down and give you a full academic and very passive-aggressive essay on why it's actually quite simple and fair, instead of just telling you to your face that they're better than you, because that's what they actually are trying to say. Anyway, join me in my quest to conquer Infernum mode, the hardest mod ever made for any video game ever. Will I beat it, or will I ultimately give up? I literally have like the entire playthrough recorded already, so this is Infernum. Welcome to Infernum, Terraria, Calamity, the game? Okay. Alright, here we are. Why am I so fast? Hello. Oh. Tummy ache. Greetings. Oh. Tummy ache. It ain't that funny. Okay. Now Infernum mode was officially activated, which caused the slimes near me to act like they're on steroids. Now I was playing on expert mode because Infernum is actually quite incompatible with master mode apparently. In fact, I got a warning that if I activated master mode, my computer would explode with enough force to take out a city block. Obviously I tried to turn it on anyway, and then I got a knock on my front door. It was actually the lead developer of the Infernum mod, who punched me so hard it broke my jaw. A perfect 11 block wide house with a center table. Just how I like it. There's so many worms. You'll love to see it. Anyway, I'll try to keep all the exploration and preparation bits light. You've all seen the Terraria early game, and I know that you're all just here to watch me get sodomized by bosses. Why does everything accelerate so fast? I started building my base pretty quickly thanks to the architect NPC that just lets me buy building blocks, and continued to explore the beautiful world that only had the intention of hurting me. Wait a second. Enhance this image. See that green robot? Or if you're a D&D nerd, an automaton. These Wolfram robots would help me make the early game just a bit more manageable by adding a new tier of early game gear with a cool steampunk aesthetic. There are some pretty geeky millennial men and some socially awkward teens, both with a decent chance of being furries, that just soiled themselves when I said the word steampunk. I also got very lucky with a pyramid. Okay, give me something decent at least. You are a savior among men. Do you have nothing else to do other than ride my meat all day? Why are you... You just showed up to take my money. Okay. I didn't know you were on the block today. What? Did I just hoik myself into the ceiling? By accident? Let's analyze this frame by frame. You see the slanted block here? My theory is that when I jumped, my hitbox was within this slanted blocks tile. Then as I placed a torch, this forces the slanted block to become a full block, therefore overlapping my hitbox and pushing my character upwards. Fascinating. You know, this is gonna sound incredibly nerdy, okay? I hosted a Terraria Dungeons & Dragons campaign, and I integrated stuff from Calamity into it, okay? One sort of companion thing I actually implemented was the Wolfram drone as a companion. The mechanics that I made for it are exactly the same. Goodness, you are allowed. With my new drone, exploration was slightly easier. Summoner's actually always been a favorite of mine, even if the class is a lot underdeveloped. In vanilla, at least. Jellyfish, really? Who do you think you are? Combination hookah and coffee maker. Me when I make up words, okay. Me when I'm useless, this is amazing. If your goal was to have nothing notable, then you succeeded with flying colors. Don't give me a heart, dude. Are you into being insulted? Oh, I forgot about these. Hold up a second. Okay, well that's just a minor issue. a minor qualm, even. We can go at this from a different angle, and that's the beauty of life, is there's always another solution whether you see it or not. While I was looking for sky islands, I was also reminded that planetoids exist. This would help out quite a bit with some loot and heart crystals. Unfortunately, harpies are xenophobic, which is really unfair because I feel like it's up for debate on what's considered the sky or just really far off the ground. After searching through sky islands for a while, I also found a Star Fury with a terrible modifier. Luckily, I found another one that did not suck. This looks entirely unimportant. Time to boil myself alive. Then I decided to drink a random teleportation potion to teleport me anywhere in the world, and I got very lucky. Ha ha ha. I'm doing the evil laugh from whenever I enabled Infernum mode. That's me now. Oh my gosh. I mean, just kiss me on the mouth and do it with tongue if you want. I don't mind at this point. Oh, that's a security tree. Security tree? Sure. We'll go with that too. Leave me alone, you're a freaky dude. This cherry blossom biome was pretty cool, but not super useful, unfortunately. That is a trap chest, I think. I'm not sure though. With my new Star Fury, I explored the jungle, getting a bunch of loot and jungle materials before accidentally teleporting home while trying to trash a magic mirror. I was mildly annoyed, but just drank one of my other potions and kept looking for art crystals. I eventually ended up in the underground desert, which is an awful and way too dangerous place, in my opinion, even if the loot is decent. Gosh, guys, can you stop, like, flying around at light speed? Thank you, honestly. I'm thankful for everything I have. This place stresses me out. I got lucky once again while exploring and found the summoning item for the Desert Scourge in a chest, which I did not know was possible. We are a functional human being. I am. I doubt you are. Guys, just let me get the amber. Awesome. That's all I wanted. Cause now I can make an amber hook. What is this structure? Looks pretty unimportant to me. This structure would be used to fight a mini boss much later. Not important right now. IMO IYKYK. I want out of this crazy place. It's so long. I redeemed myself with another random teleportation potion, and I would try not to fluff it up this time. I even got a boomstick. And at this point, I had gotten basically everything I could have wanted to from the jungle, which was great because I didn't want to be here that much longer. Honey, I hate you so much. Oh, men in the early 20th century be like, okay. B. You know, for only like an hour and a half of progress, doing pretty good. Using a gravitation potion, I went by a few planetoids to go ahead and top my health off. I'm intrigued. Give it to me straight, Doc. What is this? Wow, not bad. Finally starting on my elevator, I opted for scarab bombs, because at this point, mining down with a pickaxe was just so below me. I'll see if I can do the summoner, and if that doesn't work out, boomstick my beloved is what it's gonna look like. Deciding on summoner for now, the best class, I made a Wolfram lure, which when powered by energy cores would allow me to farm Wolfram a lot easier. With aforementioned Wolfram, I made my first actual armor set, and this armor had some really cool features. Didn't mean to throw that. Well, there it goes. And for all we know, that didn't even happen. I also equipped a rotor drive from one of the Wolfram enemies, which gave me a recharging shield and looked sick. Hello, wife. I'm not a furry. Oh gosh. This is sick. Then I made a Wolfram prosthesis. It's just a laser arm. What is going on? Ladybug party? Where's everybody going? Bingo? As preparation for my first boss, I made one of my favorite whips, the Snapthorn. And now I had no excuse to not fight a boss. Sigh. I made a quick arena, and by hand, mind you, you won't see any quality of life or arena building mods here, for you see, I hate myself. There we go. What does that one song say? It says something about a crown. I think it's called In the Thick of It. Can't remember who it's by. After a quick trip to a demon altar, everything was finally ready, and here's how it went. The changes made to the King Slime fight by Infernum were actually pretty simple, but they did a good job of making the fight a lot harder. After damaging the slime a little bit, a ruby will appear, and the projectiles it fires will try to predict the player's movement. And the coolest feature is that after its health gets low enough, the ninja from inside the slime will jump out and start fighting, throwing a spread of shurikens for you to dodge as well. That is mildly annoying, I guess. But don't act too proud of yourself. I was just messing around, really. I need to go this way. Oh, it's okay. Oh, I'm not wearing my horseshoe. Oh! I should still bind my rage and stuff, probably. Excuse me. I'm just sorting some stuff out real quick. You know? Yeah, that took like 20 minutes. Eesh, embarrassing. No slimy saddle either. I guess you just hate me, that's alright. King Slime was down, and I had finally defeated my first Infernum boss, in a very embarrassing display if I do say so myself. If you don't know, by the way, Infernum makes all boss summoning items infinite. Thank goodness. Now the Scourge was always an issue for me, because it enrages outside the desert, but you can accidentally leave the desert biome by just jumping too high, which has always bothered me a little bit. Horseshoe, thank you. Don't really like this desert all that much, but it's what we got, so we'll have to work with it. Let's just see how big this guy is. Let's see how big this guy is. Huh? He ain't that big. My power armor will make short work of you, fiend. Ugh, tummy ache. Another boss, another arena to be built, as usual. You know, in real life, vultures don't attack human beings. There we go. Okay, well, figures. Ugh. I hate you with a passion. That leaves me just barely anything, but thank you. It's something. I could talk for a long time about how the boss enragement mechanic is stupid. Maybe that's too strong of a word. In my humble personal opinion, which you can really put as much value into as you personally want to, this might be to prevent cheesing, or it is just a way to make sure you fight a boss in a certain biome. But I can guarantee that 100% of the time, when someone enrages a boss, it's by complete accident. This point is only exacerbated, which is such a big word, thank you so much, by the arena requirements of some bosses. Luckily, in their infinite wisdom, the Calamity developers have taken bosses that previously did not enrage and given them an enraged state. I am now even more motivated to fight the Eater of Worlds within the corruption. What did you think I was planning on doing otherwise? Okie doke, let's do a quick test run. How's the arena gonna look with this? Oh, bass in my ears. The Desert Scourge has seen quite a lot, now with even more sand projectiles than normal. The Scourge will switch between two phases, going from a slow comp phase where it will follow you around while sand comes from both sides of the screen, and then into a more aggressive phase where it will charge the player a lot more. It also summons these sand tornadoes, which are, as you can see, too tall for my arena, so I eventually had to make my arena bigger. Was letting zombies open doors really like a necessary change? Truthfully, the Desert Scourge did take me quite a few tries, which is embarrassing. Another issue I had was that while I was switching platforms, I would constantly activate my power armor by accident, which ruined my mobility as long as it was up, and acceleration is actually very important in boss fights, but I was also too stubborn to take the armor off, just in case maybe I did want to go into my power armor at some point. Now just hold on a second, I need to heal. You'll allow this, right? Is this like an issue, or... You turn around real quick. The pylon in the middle of my arena isn't helping a whole lot. What was that? I need to go to Walmart. Get groceries. I have an exam tomorrow. It was pretty clear that something needed to change. I decided to heighten my arena because I didn't have enough verticality, and I literally could not avoid the tornadoes the Scourge makes. If it enrages, then it enrages. Oh well. Mirror Womp. You just got sand on my platform. Slut. That wasn't me! Good start. Good start. Really? Good start. I was lobotomized. I can't let that keep happening. Sand? Hey, I should get rid of this sand. The sand, I need to get rid of it. You're being really... I'm just saying, you're on thin ice. Well, it's a lot easier whenever I can dodge them. Oh, they're tall, never mind. If people can do no-hits of this, I can beat him. Provided I'm not as good as those people. Kind of an awkward position here. Oh, okay. Well, I've ruined it by going into this mode. Cool. I wish I could move! Unfortunately, I am Robot Man. Yeah, great. Well, I killed it anyway. We take those W's. We take those W's. Thanks. Pretty sure I clicked on my inventory, but, you know, it is what it is. After too many attempts, in my opinion, the Scourge was beaten. Looking back on this footage now, I played terribly. I'm sure I'll be thinking that pretty constantly as I watch the rest of this footage back. Now that I had access to Victide, I decided to switch to Rogue for a little bit. Rogue weapons are a lot easier to come by than Summoner weapons, and are generally better, at least in pre-hard mode. And the one that the Scourge drops happens to be pretty good. Maybe someday, someone will make good AI for summoning weapons. And the best part is I look like a crab. There you go, chap. Looking dapper as usual. Alright, well, time to kill it again. Yeah, doing that in a sandstorm is an awful idea. As much fun as not being able to move in one direction is. Crazy how much easier that is when I have movement accessories. It's actually not that crazy, and in fact, I'm not that surprised. I'm sorry for lying, I guess. Oh, that's good. That's actually quite good. Cool. I didn't realize this at the time, but this accessory was going to be a pretty good damage dealer with the Eater of Worlds. But for now, I wanted to go to the Sunken Sea. Me when I fish. Oh my gosh, wait, this is awesome. I didn't even realize how good this was. This is crazy. Oh, it's so pretty. Oh, this place is so pretty. It's so pretty. Really looks like something from like Terraria Otherworld as far as like graphically and the textures and stuff. I was here because I wanted to make a rogue weapon called the Prismaline. To do this, I needed mollusk husks, which drop from clams in hard mode. Yeah, this is a hard mode weapon. Anyway, I also paid a visit to the Draydon lab to get the weapon blueprints, or at least I tried to. Goodness. I ended up leaving to just find a clam. As long as they didn't make the giant clam any harder, because why would they do that, right? What you doing there, buddy? After that, I went back to the lab to pick up the power cell factories and actually get the schematics this time. Oh my gosh. The Draydon character, the scientist below Yerum, was studying a giant sea prism. After I got mech, I made the Crystalline, a very good early rogue weapon, and once again tried to fight a giant clam. And then I tried again, and again, and again, and again. I didn't mean to dash. If I weren't wearing a dash excess fat. I slapped my big belly, covered in oil. I didn't mean to dash. I meant to slightly go to the right, but I had some reason to have a built-in dash. So as it turns out, you can actually just bind dashing to a key on your keyboard or mouse button, if you've got those. Now, I suffered from this dashing issue a lot throughout my playthrough. How long do you think it took me to discover this? I'll give you a hint. It was not soon. Oh, why did I scratch my nose? With my left hand, even. Okay. I don't think that should have hit me. Anyway, a couple things about this fight, if you'd allow me. 1, fighting underwater sucks balls. And 2, this thing has so much defense. You can't tell because I'm so good at editing, but every time I fight this thing, it takes like 5 minutes. Anyway, after a long while, I finally beat the clam. Too much health. Too much health. Too much health. I'm not happy. I feel nothing, actually. Also, I think this is a hard mode item, so I just did that all for nothing, except this, I guess. I don't know. There we go. Stupid clam statue, really. Special place in hell for you. Well, now that side quest was over, it was time to get back to fighting actual bosses, and Eye of Cthulhu, an absolute classic, was up next. If any of these fights so far are any indication, this should go fine. Less slimes would be ideal. Okay, no more slime. That's a great start. The Eye of Cthulhu has been given a lot of attacks that give it a lot more arena control. It now spews teeth into the sky, which come down and stick to the ground, still damaging you. It also has an attack where instead of spawning more eyeballs, it'll shoot a barrage of homing blood projectiles. Overall, it's actually really fun. Ugh, what was that? Actually pretty easy. Nice. Eye of Cthulhu was an absolute breath of fresh air compared to that stupid clam. With it defeated, I would get access to a couple of useful NPCs, and that was about it, really. Aside from getting the Shield of Cthulhu for a much-needed dash upgrade. And finally, after all this time, I made the magic storage unit. Best thing ever invented, right next to milk. Oh, that's what I was waiting for. Time to go. I went to the Sulfuric Sea to complete the event and listen to the banger of a soundtrack, while also getting a few materials for some weapons and armor I wanted to try. Infernum really didn't change this event much from what I can tell, and it was over pretty quickly. Now I had a brand new rogue armor set to work with, which was yet another fish-themed set. Calamity adds a lot of these, actually. I also made a throwable glass of acid so that I could simulate living in the United Kingdom, among other things. Oh, it's a sentry. We can't all be winners. Oh, Despacito Sprout, okay. Next up was Crabulon, which I prepared an arena for off recording. Sorry to any arena enthusiasts who really want to see that. I remember back when these mushroom biomes, pre-1.4, were tiny. They looked so ugly. This will probably go pretty bad. It's alright. It is what it is. Crabulon's more on the disappointing side of the Infernum reworks, I would say. Not because his attacks are boring, more so I wish there were more of them. He's now able to summon mushroom walls out of the ground, which make dodging his projectiles a lot harder. And after taking enough damage, he'll start to slam his arms onto the ground to create even more mushroom projectiles. But he also has a lot of health, so the fight takes a very long time. My only real complaint is just the fight feels like it takes very long. And it's funny that I mentioned that because this playthrough is quite old at this point, and they added a patch which reduced his damage reduction. After my first attempt, I decided to wait a bit for the Goblin army to show up, which was just not going to happen. Joy, my second wife. The harem is coming along nicely. Speaking of which, anybody kept up with any good anime lately? Is it me or is it all just starting to be the same? I mean, sense of humor is the same. It's crazy. We're in the year 2024. Japanese people still think breasts are the funniest thing to have ever existed. Your average Japanese person sees breasts and just breaks down in laughter. They can't be real. Then again, everybody that watches anime in Japan is a gooner, so... Speaking of gooner, hello. Sorry, I didn't mean to blast your face off. Oh, right, the Goblin army's after the Eater of Worlds. What was I thinking? Not much, really. I never do. I decided to just start fighting Crabulon again. I'm in a bad position. I stacked my healing potions. That's why I haven't been healing. That's cool. You know, for not having healing potions this whole time, I'm not doing too bad. I know you want to be on the same level with me. Okay, I get it. What are you doing with that? Put those arms back. Oh, okay, well that wasn't that bad at all. I'll tell you what, that felt like a very fun and fair fight. Good job. Without too much time, Crabulon was down, and I managed to get the rogue weapon from him, with the best reforge, which was good, obviously. I also got a small adrenaline upgrade, which would be nice if I was better at the game, not slowing down for even a second. Next up was Eater of Worlds, and this one gave me a slight hernia. Not a full one, maybe like a half hernia, but that's still a half more hernia than I would prefer-nia. Hubba bubba, how could I forget? Ugh, tummy ache. Here we go. Okay, well, screw you. What is wrong with you? Thank you. Hey, what's up, man? Oh my gosh, actually, know what? This is the best. I love you guys. I'd put my life on the line for you. They're so happy to exist. Wish I could say the same. No thoughts behind those eyes. Yep, me too. Let's just see how it goes. No arena, let's see how it goes. How bad can it be? You know what? It's not. I think I'm gonna win this. Wow, look at how low his health is already. I did all of that. I wish I had healing potions. Oh. Well, this complicates things. Enrages aside the corruption. I bet you think you're so funny, don't you? See how I'm not laughing? Unfortunately, I was going to have to build an arena, which you guys luckily don't have to watch, so here it is. Nice little background flickering going on there. Just testing the waters again. So far, Eater of Worlds is going to be the most bullet hell boss we've seen. They've also decided that the Eater of Worlds can now just legitimately fly, because now every worm boss in Terraria and Calamity is a cousin of the Devourer of Gods. Now throughout his fight, there will be a lot of cursed flame projectiles flying around, as well as sometimes he'll summon up some vile thorn walls from the ground. It's actually quite a lot to deal with the worms constantly chasing you around. I wish I did more damage. In my attempts to do more damage, I made the Seafoam Bomb for just that little bit of piercing damage from the explosion. But I had not yet had my realization. The realization that all my piercing damage was doing 1 damage. So the Seafoam Bomb was useless. Let me explain something real quick. I decided to do some testing later in the game, just to see how far its resistance goes. I used weapons from basically in-game and found that the Eater of Worlds has an absolutely insane damage reduction, frankly. Let's take the Murasama for example. On a normal enemy, it does a measly 11,000 damage. That's alright. Against Eater of Worlds. Now the Murasama isn't even what I would consider a piercing weapon, but let's just assume if a weapon can hit multiple targets, its damage is going to be reduced by a lot. Anyway, I'm telling all of you this to say that all the work I did there after this fight to get a shark tooth necklace for armor penetration was pointless, because this was clearly a damage resistance and not just high defense. Ooh. Cutie patootie. I get 2 treasure bags? Okay, I don't know if that's intentional, but I'll take it. And 2, I got 2 of everything. Okay, yeah, sure, why not? Holy... my loins. I apologize, everybody. The Eater of Worlds was down, without too much difficulty, really. But, you know, still probably the hardest so far. Using the drops it gave me, I made a new weapon and then killed it again, pretty easily. Anyway, I'm really sorry about throwing this fight earlier. I've come to realize it's actually really easy. Yeah, you just drop 2 every time. Works for me. I like money. But with that, half of the prehardmode bosses were dealt with, except Torch God. Unfortunately, the bosses only get harder from here, but to see that, you'll have to watch the next video. And if I had any final comments, it would be that the stupid clam mini-boss took me the most attempts by far. If you'd like to see part 2, freaking like the subscribe button and subscribe the dislike button or whatever, and leave a comment begging me for part 2, or else I'm deleting all of my footage and disappearing off the face of the earth in a most mysterious fashion. Goodbye. Oi. Ow. Wait, that felt kind of nice. Ooh. Alright.